Okay, here we go again. I wanted to talk about this old lens of mine, and the reason is mainly because there is nothing really about this on YouTube anyway, on the internet. And this is the Zeiss Opton Sonnar 5cm 1.5 lens from back in the days. It's not the new Sonnar. It's a very unique lens. It's made for contacts, rangefinders, which I don't have one, unfortunately. It has an inner bayonet mount, so basically you have to. So this part was originally on the camera body of the contacts, and then basically you mount it in there. So that's how you focus. So these are a bit of a pain to adapt because there is no focusing ring or focusing mechanism. But if you have an adapter, then you're probably fine. And you can buy this on eBay. I think they are just a Kiev mount. They just ripped the camera apart and someone fitted it onto a Sony mount, which is working fine. And not only that, but it came from Russia, I think. I don't know if you can see it, but this is how you focus, but you can go beyond the focus, so you can come out quite a bit. So this turns the camera into a close focus lens. It's not macro, you know, because the original rangefinder minimum focusing distance is like I think it's 0.9 meter, maybe a meter, but if you push it out that much, then you get a very good focusing distance. So I was thinking I might just rip off this Sony mount, and I'm gonna slap on a Leica M mount at the end of it, and then stick it onto my Tech-Art autofocus adapter, and then let's see. So then you get all the benefits of a modern lens, eye autofocus and everything on a vintage lens. And I do think that this Sonnar has a, I don't know, I prefer the look of this lens to the new ZM Sonars. They are brilliant. The new lenses are obviously great and everything, but I think this has something like an interesting look to it. You can tell it's a vintage lens by the rendering. I will put up a few pictures just for samples. I like to walk around with it, you know, and also it's good for like art, like when you want to do some arty, moody portrait shots or boudoir, really good. Again, it can get interesting bokeh. Sometimes the bokeh is smooth as hell, and in the rendering of the lens and natural colors, it's just amazingly beautiful. But sometimes the bokeh can get busy as well. So any vintage lenses, there is trade-offs. And what I was gonna say, obviously Sonnar being Sonnar, it's not a perfect lens. Obviously, it's not sharp edge to edge from 1.5 to whatever, f11 I think, yeah, f16. So Sonnar is always been considered an art lens. Like it's if you are a photographer, you know that every different vintage lens is like if you are a painter, it's like a different kind of brush. So you have different results with it, different, you know, bokeh, different flaws mean different magic, you know. And this lens packs a punch, and they are fairly affordable. You can buy them. Well, they are getting harder and harder to find in good condition, even though a lot was made of these, but it's getting harder to find. And not only that, but they have a design flaw somehow. They are very, very, very prone to separation. And as you can see, my model is basically, when I bought it online, there was nothing on it. It was an immaculate lens, and by the time it arrived, there was a massive frequency separation on it, on the front element. And obviously I contacted the seller and I said, like, look what's going on. And the guy was ready to take it back and give you a refund. And but you know, I took it out the same day. I took it out for like a walk and just tested it, and I couldn't see any issues with it. It didn't show up in the pictures. So I messaged the guy, and the guy said he will refund me like half of the purchase value, and I was like, meh, okay. So because it's not like something I need, you know, it's just like a hobby lens. and I was considered it, you know, it was considered a deal. And these are not very expensive anyway. You can pick one up for like 200-400 pounds ish, depending on the condition and where it's coming from. And I think it's an insanely good little lens. Tiny, compact. You can mount it on your Leica, or even you can mount it to your screw mount camera if you have a screw mount adapter. There is a guy called Amedeo or Amedeo or whatever, I don't know what it's called. So there is a guy who makes insanely good handmade adapters for Zeiss. So he makes insane adapters very similar to this, but it's designed for Leica M, and obviously it's not something that you fabricate. It's you know, like makeup from bits you find in a garage. That dude is basically hand machined the whole design, so he made the whole thing from scratch with an M mount, and they are quite pricey. I think they go for a few £100, some more than the lens, but once you have it, you can mount your Opton anything on it. You can mount your contacts inside mount, because these are, you know, inside mount, but if you buy the Biogon, that's an outside mount, so it clicks on the bayonet on the outside. So yeah, once you get your adapter, then you're good to go, but the adapter is gonna cost your ass. It's gonna be expensive, but yeah. And also one more thing, so because there is no focusing ring on the lens itself, all you have is just a grip, you know, because the focusing mechanism is here. So basically, once it's locked in, it locks into that little thing. So let me see. So it's in, so it clicks in like that. So it locks in with that thingy, and then obviously this is high focus. So it goes in and out in that mount. But because the aperture ring is here, when you turn it, sometimes you turn the whole lens, you see. So it's not a flaw, it's not a problem, it's totally fine. You just have to kind of get used to it, you know. It's an old design, so it's not something like, it's not a problem. It's just something to think about if you pick one up, because you might like, oh, he didn't mention this. And obviously it's an issue, and not an issue, but you know, good to know. And also I picked up one of these old Russian version. When people say like Russian copies are exactly the same or whatever, obviously it's not the same. It's not even in the same ballpark. Obviously this is the Jupiter, and it's the Jupiter 8, but it's the F2 version of it. I picked it up for like super cheap, like £10 on a car boot sale or something. So you can use a click mount. It's a clicky one, click aperture, which is not a bad click aperture, but it's quite a bit more effort to turn. So if you imagine that this is on the mount already and you clicking that, then you're definitely gonna go out of focus. So, but again, it's not an issue because, you know, once you shoot, you decide you shoot at, you know, 5.6, and then you're there for a bit, you know, unless if you are going in and light all the time like crazy. But if you're a street shooter and you know, like, okay, it's noon and I have this kind of film or whatever, you know, you set it wherever you want it to, and then it's pretty much there all the time. Or if you shoot on a, you know, like a mirrorless system like me, you're probably gonna shoot it wide open or stop it down a little bit, but probably wide open, because why would you buy it to shoot at f8? Oh, what I was gonna say. So this Sonnar design lens is very interesting because they give you a different look every time. Like depending on if you shoot wide open, you get it's always sharp. At least even this one, it's sharp. It's not like, you know, modern tech sharp, but it's sharp. It's dare I say micro contrast, or I'm gonna get crucified for this. I don't know if it's micro contrast because I didn't shoot on that kind of textures. I mean, I think you get a good shades of everything. Okay, maybe not, I don't know. So if you shoot at 1.5, ooh, the chicken is ready. 1 second, I'm back. So yeah, this lens gives you a different look. It's not like when you have like a Zeiss planner or something. It's it's an art lens. So 1.5 you get a look, and then if you stop it down to 2.8 or f4, you get a bit sharper look, but different. But if you want your Opton Sonnar be like, you know, sharp edge to edge, you go down to like f8 or something. But even then, so it's like an art lens. So you consider it like that. It's like my Summarit. The Summarit is you know, it's not like a perfect lens. It's, you not buy it because it's gonna be so sharp or it's gonna be whatever. It's a, it literally lacks everything. It's made out of window glass probably. But when I mount my Summarit on my Sony, that there is a little bit of magic, you know. It's like there is something to that lens that you can't do in Photoshop, you know, like, because nowadays you can buy all the, like, let's say I have a set of Zeiss Opton lenses, which I love. Modern lens, do the job perfect. But there is no way you can make those pictures look like these, you know. And some might say these are, you know, you don't want to because it's old and, you know, not that contrasty or not that punchy or not that sharp or whatever. But that's not the point. Like, these lenses are, you don't buy these lenses because these are perfect. You buy them because they are not, and they have certain flaws. But I'm saying flaws, but they are very sought after flaws. And also, of course, you buy a piece of history, and yeah, you buy a piece of history, and it gives you a different kind of style in photography. Because if all your pictures are shot with, like, I don't know, Canon 50f 1.2 or 85 1.2 or whatever, all the pictures gonna be look the same. Not only that, but it's gonna look all the same, like everybody has on the internet. So for my artwork, I have a few. I'm not gonna say carefully selected, because obviously that sounds very obnoxious, but they are kind of carefully selected because you know, over the years I kept buying lenses, and I had a few of these as well. And some, you know, there's sample variation. It's back in the, like, before the war era, like, you know, everything was made with hand ground glass and everything. So you can imagine that if someone in a factory hand grind the glass, even no matter how precise they are as Zeiss, you know, there will be variations. Even if you go back in the cinema world, Stanley Kubrick and all the great directors, like Stanley Kubrick was a photographer at first, and even in his movies, what he did, like, when he ordered a set of lenses, like, say, I don't know, obviously he didn't use 35mm lenses, he used cinema lenses, but say you ordered you wanted a planar, I don't know, 85 1.4, he would get, like, I don't know, 10 of them, and from the 10 he would pick the one that gives him the look that he wanted. And there is that, and we are not talking about like major differences, like they are pretty much all the same, but there is just one tiny bit of something difference, you know, like it's just maybe it's just a feel, you know. It's not something you can really measure out or whatever, but you just get a different look, or how you feel about it, or a different kind of vibe. And he would just pick his one lens from the 10 or 12 whatever, and that would be his favorite, and then the rest goes back. So it's insane. So yeah, so over the years I've been collecting lenses that's been working for me and clicked with me, and this is one of them. And even with the bottom separation, as long as it's working fine, I will keep it. I know people say, like, you can put it in you can take it apart, put the glass in the oven, heat it up, and then, or boil it or whatever, but I don't know, I'm just not sure about it, because it doesn't show up in the images, so why risk it, you know. It's a lens I like. But if you guys know a lot about I don't know why I want to say frequency separation, it's bottom separation. If you know a lot about bottom separation or how to repair it or whatever, do write it down in the comments, and I might consider trying it, and I might even make a YouTube video about it, God knows. So yeah, Sonnar is awesome, and there are many variations of this lens. I will put it up on the screen so you can buy the Russian ones. There is a Nikon version, and there's lots of versions, and I think they are just cool lenses. I mean, I had the the Canon LTM version as well. It's not a context mount, it's a M39 mount, and the Canon one, it's quite good as well, you know, and it's even cheaper, and it's not as good as these to my taste, but it has just lovely colors. I mean, this has insanely good colors as well, but for some reason the Canon LTM has some, I don't know, maybe because it's not that widespreadly used, you know, people don't use it that widely. Maybe you just get a unique look and that's why you're attracted to it. So yeah, the Canon version is quite good as well. I might make a video about it. So I can only just recommend this lens to anybody if you want to mount it to your Sony or Leica or whatever. You can even mount it onto your film camera, you know, the Leica free bodies, you know. If you have an adapter, basically any adapter you have, then it will work with that system. And these are fairly affordable, and oh my god, and the aperturing is like so smooth. No, it doesn't do it, of course, but so smooth. Anyway, massive geek. So yeah, I don't want to drag it out too much. I will probably throw up a few pictures, and I'm gonna end it here, I think. So yeah, I think I will end it here, and I'll put up some pictures. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and comment, and oh, thanks for the following. Yeah, there is like a massive influx came last week from the followings. I don't know what happened. It's not almost 100. So thank you guys, and yeah, thanks for watching, and see you soon again.